My name's Martin Luther. I'm a resident of Nakuru, and I live in Sombea. At the moment, I'm the chairman of the Inter Clubs, Nakuru Amateur Boxing. So not Inter Clubs, not Amateur Boxing Club, Inter Clubs for the county, where we have like 8 registered boxing clubs. Yani tuko na vilabu 8 zile zimesajiliwa na mkuu wa sports kwa upande wa registration. Yeah.
And now I'd like you to comment about what is the state, hali ya boxing Nakuru sasa hivi iko vipi?
Kwa kusema kweli hali ya boxing Nakuru ina yumba yumba. It is not steady. And what I'll say, it has an influence kutoka nje, not within Nakuru. As you are aware, we are approaching what we call the national BFK elections. And that has really been a big problem, where we are seeing BFK interfering with the boxing affairs of Nakuru. And I'll give you examples. As you know very well, I've been supporting Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club, and that is the great-grandfather of boxing in Nakuru. And at one point, there is a feeling within BFK that I'm a serious contender for the president position of the BFK. So wanajaribu sana nisionekane kwenye hiyo elections ya BFK. Na hiyo imeaffect boxing ya Nakuru. Na nitakwambia kwa nini. Kama unakumbuka 4th League, wakati nimepeleka vijana wacheze kule Nanyuki, chairman wa Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club, Samuel Nderitu Kahigo, alifanya ile kitendo mimi naita kitendo cha ubaradhuli, kuandika barua ya withdraw boxers wasicheze kwa sababu nimepeleka BFK kotini kwa kuwa kwa ofisi bila kufuata sheria. Vile unaelewa, sheria Sports Act inasema clearly, after 4 years we need to have elections, and that extends mpaka kwa county, including counties zote zinafaa kufanya elections after 4 years. So baada mi kuona hawa watu wafuati sheria, niliamua kuwapeleka kotini. Na kuwapeleka kotini hawakuona vizuri. So wakaanza kusumbua maboxers. Huyo chairman wa Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club akaingilia na kuwithdraw boxers wale walikuwa kwa ligi. 9 boxers hawakucheza. Na hiyo ili affect sana wale maboxers. So ndio manake nasema bado kuna ile kuyumba kwa ngumi hapa Nakuru.
Okay, now maybe you talk about nani mwenyekiti wa mchezo wa masumbwi Nakuru na timu yake, na kama kuna mahusiano yoyote mazuri ambayo yanaweza yakasaidia mchezo huu hapa Nakuru.
No, the administration of boxing in Nakuru tunajua haijakuwa mzuri sana for the last almost 12 years. Na tukiongea juu ya mwenyekiti wa Nakuru, wakati wake ulipita. Mr. Isaac Mbote ni rafiki yangu sana, ni mzee na heshimu. Amerifari game yangu like 1985 nikiwa nacheza pale Amateur Boxing Club, na kumbuka yeye alikuwa referee. Na wakati wake umepita, na si ati umepita sababu yeye ni mzee, umepita kisheria. He has been there. Remember, kitu ya kwanza labda watu wengi hawajui hii certificate yenye Mbote yako naye ya Nakuru County alipewa kwa na register for 90 days in the year in 2018. Ukihesabu 2018, leo tuka na miaka ngapi? Karibu 6. Na aliambiwa after 90 days aitisha elections. Hiyo elections hakuitisha. So juzi tumejaribu kufanya elections, na unajua vile kulitokea pale. Wamekosa kufuata sheria za elections. So hiyo pia unaona katika hiyo administration ya boxing pia sasa haieleweki. Sababu tukiwa pale alisema kwamba dissolve the County Boxing Association Executive. So technically kisheria tunasema there's a lacuna. Nakuru as we speak say haina leadership. Are we together? In fact, wale walikuwa pale kwa uchaguzi walisema yachague watu 4, mimi nichague watu 4, tukutane, tukae chini. Na ndio kina ya maana unaona hii mkutano niko naye hapa leo. Tunataka tuchague watu 4, alafu nitamwandikia barua niseme tukutane, tujadiliane, tufuate sheria tukifanya uchaguzi. That is it. That's what we are demanding. Hakuna kitu kingine.
Now, thank you so much. Sitauliza term ya leadership kwa sababu umeizungumzia.
Yes.
In matters constitution.
Yes.
What is the criteria na ni katiba gani ambayo mnatumia wakati mnafanya elections?
Ndugu yangu, hii ni so simple. It doesn't need rocket science. It doesn't need anyone who has gone to school. Unachukua ile tunaita Sports Act. Regulation ya registrar inasema nini? Kwa kizungu nitasema, ukiangalia part 5 ya elections of the Sports Act, hapo section 20 subsection 1, it says clearly, organizations shall hold elections in accordance with the rules provided in its constitution. Yani kwa Kiswahili labda mimi si mzuri lakini kwa Kiswahili nasema hivi. Unaona ile katiba ya county, hiyo ndio tunafaa kufuata. Sasa ile shida ilitokea wakati tulikuwa tunafanya election on Saturday. Wamekataa kufuata katiba ya county ambayo inasema members will vote directly. Sasa tumekuja na members wetu. Mbote anatuambia yako na members watatu. Tunamuuliza imeandikwa wapi? Ati anatuambia secretary, chairman na treasurer. Ati hao ndio wanafaa kuvote. Nikamuuliza katiba yako ndio hii? Tuambie imeandikwa wapi? Anasema ati anaongoja sheria kutoka Nairobi. Sheria kutoka kwa Nairobi kwa nani? Na sheria tuko naye. Yeah. Sheria tuko naye, ako na katiba, alikuwa na katiba pale yake, tuko na Sports Act. Sasa hii sheria anaongoja kupiga simu itoke Nairobi, ni sheria gani? Yes. In fact, I was disappointed for postponement of that election. What was the reason? The reason was so simple. Yeye ameenda hana wafuasi, ameenda ametafuta mama mboga, ametuletea wapige kura. Wengi, I have the list here. For example, nataka utafute nafasi uende kwa Mbote. Muulize, hii klabu anasema Olivine Boxing Club iko wapi? Gilgil Boxing Club iko wapi? Hii anasema ati Olivine, Bahati, kuna sijui ingine tunaita ati Githioro, kuna ingine inaitwa sijui Landini, Baruti, Kaloleni tuko naye. Na mambo na limitless, mambo mingi sana. Yeah? Now, swali nataka uende umuulize. Na kama hii ni mzee wa haki, mwambia kuonyeshe boxers wale wamewahi toka. Unaona kama klabu tunasema kama Molo. Molo huwa inakuja kama sub county. Anasema kuna klabu Molo. Mwambia kuonyeshe hiyo klabu Molo ni akina nani? Kama Lakeside Boxing. Ni iko wapi? Boxers working organ. You see, a boxing club is identified by its members. And its members are boxers. You get? And boxers must have a coach. Sio? Nilimwambia leta coach wale wa boxers wako, basi tupige kura. Unaona mzee anatingiza kichwa.
Asante sana kwa hilo.
Alafu kitu moja nataka nikuelezee.
Naam.
Unajua hii Kenya yetu tuko na kitu inaitwa corruption pale kwa register. Kuregister club, na mimi nataka hii mfikie huyu msajili wa vilabu za sporti. To register club, she must do what we call due diligence. Due diligence kwa kimombo ni kusema, mimi na Kiswahili ni kusema fuata zile taratibu za kuonyesha ya kwamba hizi vilabu zipo na ziko na boxers. She should not act alafu natudanganya atie kazi yake ni kupata makaratasi na kuregister. Ati mimi kazi yangu ni kuregister tu. What is she doing? She's doing more damage to us. Unaelewa? Because sasa Mbote anasemekana kuna vilabu 30. Wewe mwenyewe ni mkazi wa Nakuru. Vilabu 30 ni gani? Tunaweza enda kwa record ya boxing, tuangalie. Nakuru imewahi peleka teams ngapi? Si ndio? Na hata huyo Mbote wakati alikuwa kwa ushukani alipeleka teams ngapi? Nakwambia ndugu yangu, for the last 4 years, mimi Martin na Ogola na Gatua ndio tumekuwa tukipeleka teams. Siko unanipata? Sasa mimi nashangaa, hizi team zake ni vipi? Ni gani? Sasa hapo ndio shida iko ndugu yangu.
So now that attracts my question. My next question is,
yes.
From you, yes, or from your knowledge,
yes,
how many clubs are there alive and genuine in Nakuru?
In fact, in Nakuru County, and I'll count for you. It's so simple. We have, like Molo, we have one. We know there is Molo. In Nakuru, we know we have Amateur Boxing Club. We know we have Kina Kivumbini, Kaloleni. We know at Kiti we have some. Lanet, I know we have a club. So if I look at the number roughly, they are not supposed to be more than 13.
Now, kindly...
And among these 13,
yes,
they are not active. The active one are less than 8.
Right.
The active are less than 8. And this one you can confirm. You can confirm. I know I've called like twice. There was a Coach Morris tournament. Boxers participated and various clubs participated and boxers. There is also another tournament I sponsored. And ilo gole ilikuwa inaitwa nini? The interclubs. No, that was not Mwago. There was an interclub. Yes, that I sponsored. It can show you categorically which boxers and from which club. And in that tournament, we had less than 30 boxers.
Now, my next question.
Yes.
When was the last time you held a boxing election here in Nakuru?
It has never happened. It has never happened. What these people have been doing, It has never. What they have been doing, And this is now what needs to. And this is now what we are fighting. Yes. Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club have always been seen as the Nakuru County, and that's a fallacy. You know, Wongo. Sababu, after the devolution of sport, we have many clubs that have sprung up. But those old people in Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club, hao wazee hao, wenye ukienda hapo saa hii utapata wanalala wanakunywa uji. Those are the people ambaye wanasema ya kwamba wanataka kukuwa leadership. Now look at somebody like Kahio. Sami, my friend, he's a friend of mine. What can he do in boxing, if you ask me? Apart from him doing business with the club, apart from him benefiting from club, and I am serious, he's doing business with the club. It's personal gain. So that's the problem. And they want to maintain that leadership, like forever. And there is also something that I want to bring to attention, ethnicity. In sports, we cannot grow with ethnicity. So we cannot say that only one tribe or probably one member of another tribe, they're the only one who are supposed to be in the boxing leadership. That can't work. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, there is a letter of appointment that has been on the public domain regarding one Mr. Moses Nur Said,
yes,
one Mr. Lemid Thiongo,
yes,
dated 13 respectively, confirmed by the chairman. That was Mr. Samuel N. Kahiho, Mr. Timothy George, and a stamp for Amateur Boxing Club. That is box number 3065 Nakuru. Those are the officials for Amateur Boxing Club. Now, tell us.
Yeah, now, first of all, I'll comment on that later. Yeah. Those are what I call politics. For me, I don't want to talk much because the same issues is before court. And you remember those two young people, I call them young people, they were selected because of politics within Nakuru County Boxing. The reason was simple. I've told you, Gatua and Coach Gatua, you know Coach Gatua, and you know Coach Kamlus. They are taking boxers to Nanyuki. When they reached there, of course, that gentleman who signed those letters, the chairman, the guy who does business with the club. Yeah. Actually, I don't want to talk much. I'm a member of that club, as you see. In fact, I'm member 034. If you go there, I'm a fully paid member. And when I speak authoritatively because I know what happens there. So what happened, since they wanted me out, so the only way they could have done that is to bring in some new coaches, chase away Gatua and Kamulus, and then purport to have deployed some new coaches, of course, with the blessings of the BFK to serve their own purpose. You get? If you look at those two, and you compare them with Gatua, and even you compare them with Kamulus, who has more boxers, who has taken more boxers to all over the country? The record speaks for itself. I don't need to say anything. But because of ethnicity, I call it the politics of ukabila. Haiwezi endeleza boxing. And I don't want to mention that. But that's why I'm saying these old guys, wako na ile ukasumba ya ukabila. When they look at you, wanakuangalia wewe ni kabila fulani. That is what is killing boxing around. You see? So those two guys, as I've told you, it's quite political. Now I'll go straight away to probably what you are looking for. We have, if you look at this list, Lemid, according to what is happening at the sports register, he owns a club called what? Lemid Diongo. No, I know there's a club he owns. And I need to mention, Lemid used to have this club even before he goes to Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club. It is called Mwareki Boxing Club. Yes, he's the chairperson there. But again, you see, he's the chairperson. Is what? Of what? Mwareki Boxing Club. And again, he's the coach for?
Amateur Boxing
Nakuru
Club.
Amateur Boxing Club.
Yes.
Serious fraud. Are you getting that? That's a serious fraud. And in fact, those are some of the issues that would like the sports register to be audited. And he has done that all over the country. And because he doesn't follow due diligence. Yeah, that is it. And so many, many others. We have Akina Nur from Lanet. If you look at, is it Lanet Club? You see, there is nothing wrong for them being coaches or doing, but what we are saying, they should not apply double standards. Why we are saying so? Look at, I've said those two, Nur comes from Lanet. If you look at the list that they gave us for, where is this list? There's a list they gave us for the elections nominees. Yeah. If you look at this list, you'll find, look at this. Let's start with the vice chairman. Samuel Nderitu Kahio, chairman Nakuru Amateur Boxing Club, vying for the post of vice chairman. No, Mbote is a member just like me in that club. He doesn't hold any position there. And we have Moses Nur. Moses Nur comes from Lanet, now as a registered secretary. But is the coach where? Okay. If you go and look at Lemid Diongo, comes in as a competition secretary, and is from where? Mwareki, yes. But he's now coming from Mwareki, but he's the coach where? Now, I want you to go and look at, if you look at Mbote's constitution, who are the executives of a club? And I want you to get this right. He talks of a head coach and assistant coach. So in amateur boxing club, they ought to sit in the executive. So are you getting the double standards? Yeah.
Okay, finally.
So those were some of the issues that we were contending on Saturday. Okay. We are telling them, why don't we correct this? Then we vote. But they didn't want, simply because they still want to be there like forever.
Okay, finally, yes. I'd like you to comment about who is or who are eligible to be present for elections and to be precise, boxing.
No. You know, this election is not that we did not, if you look, my treasurer had done some letters to the so-called the board to give us election procedures, those legal compliance, to give us their roles. You see, for example, for election to be called, there must be a period of, let's say, at minimum, it should be like 60 days. But if you look at Mbote's constitution, it talks about 9 to 10 days, which there is nothing wrong with that, because that is his constitution. We need to be given notice. If you look at those notices that they sent to us now, and especially me, they were sent through the WhatsApp around midnight. You get that? Midnight, 4 days to election. So we hurried up and we went to this lady. She's called Dorothy. We went to Dorothy. Now, the initial letter was from Gidui and Company Advocates. I called Gidui and Company Advocates and asked them to give me the guidelines of the elections. They could not do that. They told me they have not been officially appointed to oversee that election. So I went back to Mbote. Mbote told me he's going to come back to me. He's consulting in Nairobi. If you hear Mbote is telling you that he's consulting in Nairobi, he's consulting BFK. He cannot do anything without BFK. And especially a gentleman called Waweru. I don't want to, we'll talk about him later on. So after that, now the Gidhui company advocates now changes tone and says that there is one of our own within the company, and he has been given that work as an individual. Now that's where now Dorothy comes in. We walked to Dorothy's office and we gave her some letters. And unfortunately, she tells us the information we are asking, she doesn't have. And some of the documents are in her house. So we said, okay. Then she tells us in the morning, come at the town hall. We'll give you what you need. When you go to the town hall, she doesn't have them. She's clueless. And that's where now we started having problems.
Okay, finally, now as we wind up, what is your stand regarding elections?
Elections, you see, it is so simple. Let us just follow. Elections, there are some laws that we need to follow. I've told you that for elections to be called, there's a time period which already in Nakuru's context, it has expired. In fact, as we speak, I have a matter in court, and that's why you see me not trying to talk about much of election. I've taken BFK to court on these issues because, number one, they have overstayed in the office. But it's unfortunate that the Register of Sports she's trying to legitimize their stay in the office. So those are now issues that probably the court will need to determine. Yeah.
Thank you. Final question.
Yes.
Who owns Koleni Amateur Boxing Club?
No, nothing. I'll tell you something about Amateur Boxing Club. Amateur Boxing Club does not belong to anyone as we speak. It runs under what we call a trust. But I'll tell you for sure, I've never seen that trust document. Probably that's another food for thought. We've been told there are trustees there, but we have not seen that. I personally have not seen the trust document. There was a time I asked for that document. It has never been provided. So at the moment, it's run by, I can say, members who choose what I can call the management. And legally, we have some legal issues that we need to look into. But probably I will not be able in a position to answer that at the moment. But when time comes, we'll talk about it. So the ownership, again, I can tell you for free, is in Lacuna. Yeah. Haijulikani hiyo. Hata ukienda huko waulize wakupatie trust document. I don't think if they have. Because you see, if you tell us that the club has a trust, then there must be some trust document. And what type of trustee? I know they have registered club and of course, they have two registration. They have what you call under the Society Act. It's registered under Society Act. And I also know they have registered under Sports Act because of the sports activity and especially boxing. So that would be my answer to that question at the moment. Yeah.
Maybe. Do amateur have an account that accounts monies for and on behalf of amateur boxing club?
No. You see, probably you need to be specific. Money for boxers or for members? You see, the way amateur is run, amateur is run through what I can call membership subscription. On that one, there is an account which has been opened. I know there is one. But there is no account for boxers. Because wherever boxers want to go out, we have to contribute. It's just like ile kucontribute ya matanga. Yes. And sometimes your pesa itoshi ndugu yangu. And that's why I used to chip in. Even right now still. I'm still not really, I still help wherever I can. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
Thank you.